Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to F1 Lift the Lid. This is your Suzuka Grand Prix preview, and my name's Callum Hill, and I am driving a Honda motorcycle through central London at the moment. Honda is going to be their home Grand Prix in Japan. Obviously, they're the engine supplier still for Red Bull and for AlphaTauri. It's looking like we're going to see Red Bull take the title, or at least Max Verstappen taking the title at Japan. I would highly doubt it'll go on to another race. Mathematically, it looks like Max should do well, and most people do expect him to be either win the race or be right up the top there at Suzuka. It is a racer's track, if you like, so it's not a street circuit. It's a proper old school track, and you'll hear a lot of the drivers talking about it this weekend of how it's one of their favourite tracks to go to, and it's a track F1 hasn't gone to for a few years, all due to COVID. Similarly with Singapore, so it would be great to see everyone back on track there. I mentioned AlphaTauri there. Yuki Tsunoda within AlphaTauri, obviously a Japanese driver. He's explained in the press conference, I believe he thinks he's done around 10,000 laps around Suzuka, so he should know it more than anyone, doing that in Japanese Formula 4. But obviously a Formula 1 car is a fair bit different to a Formula 4 car. You'll see in one of my other videos on this channel of me going in a Formula 4 car. I'm only sat in it in the video. I did go round, I promise you, but they are still very powerful, but I'm sure it's not quite the same as in a Formula 1 car. So that's what I think is going to be happening this weekend with Max Verstappen. I believe he's going to be winning the title, and I think AlphaTauri haven't really been generally performing that well, but it'll be interesting to see particularly what Yuki could do with knowing the track so well. Ferrari, we still think they're going to be up there. They've been performing well all season as far as the engine wise, as far as the overall car performance. It's just been lacking with their general strategy. We've seen Leclerc mess up a few times, and hence why they're so far behind the championship. But if it wasn't for those mess ups, I think they'd be right up there with Red Bull, and I think they'll still be competitive this weekend. With the Mercedes, they performed well with Lewis Hamilton last weekend. However, you saw George Russell really had a bit of a mare in Singapore. The type of track like Singapore is, it probably suited the Mercedes as it is right now a little bit better than as Suzuka will. It's an old school track, a kind of longer curvy track, which probably won't be quite as suited to how Mercedes has been over this season. At the moment, we've got McLaren in fourth place in the championship after doing so well last week in Singapore. They'd gone ahead of Alpine. I believe that McLaren, with the upgrades they brought in Singapore, this will be a proper test for them for this track to see if it's actually improved the car. I'm a solid supporter of McLaren. I'd like to see them doing really well towards the end of the season. Particularly, I want to see Daniel Ricciardo go out with a bang at McLaren and hopefully get himself a drive for next season. We saw people like teams like Aston Martin doing well in Singapore. Aston Martin all season, they've done well in the race. They managed to move themselves up a fair bit, but it's been qualifying that's that one lap pace that's really let them down. Suzuka, there's plenty of overtaking opportunities, so it'd be great to see if they can move a bit further up the track, being that old school kind of track. So it'd be great to see that. And obviously, being Japan, being in Suzuka, it's generally mixed weather conditions. We've seen a lot of rain over the years, so hopefully we see something quite interesting with the Grand Prix. It's at 6 a.m. for British viewers starting on Sunday morning, so an early one if you want to get up and watch that. Otherwise, obviously, I'm sure you better watch it on one of the catch-up channels a bit later on. We've also found out yesterday there's going to be a delay to this price cap certificates being handed out. Obviously, there's been a lot of controversy about that. I mentioned that in my last video, especially regarding Red Bull. So we're going to have to wait till after Suzuka now. So hopefully we get the news on that soon, and we can kind of put that one to bed and see obviously what punishments, if any, the FIA are going to be dishing out on that. That's it for this week. Just a quick update. Obviously, I'll be speaking to you guys again after Suzuka, giving you the all the lowdown on the Grand Prix. But have a look back at some of my other videos on this channel, especially where I mentioned about the Formula 4 car experience, and see how you can do that. Obviously, that's pretty interesting for all you guys. Thanks very much.